Washington Elementary School, what's going on?
Good
it is
morning.
Gym to Gym, a walk and talk with your principals. Happy Friday,
Happy
I guess.
Goal Getter Friday.
Happy Goal Getter Friday. You can see we do not have a room full of boys and girls here. We don't have any special guests. We don't have the music blaring, but I do think we have something special for you. Do you remember last Goal Getters?
I do.
We had an absolute blast, and I know a lot of times our kiddos come home and they're like, Goal Getters was awesome. It was so amazing. We did this, this, and this. And as a parent sitting at home, you're like, boy, this sounds fun, but I don't really know much about it. So I'm glad you asked. Check out last month's Goal Getters. One of my favorite days that we have is where we get a chance to come together, one big family, and celebrate all of the awesome behavior that we see up and down our hallways. Guys, let me tell you what we're going to do today. We have a special guest speaker. We have games, and these games include the teachers, and they're going to make a fool of themselves as well. You guys ever seen teachers have fun? Did you have some other shout outs to think about?
So another thing that we do in Goal Getters is we always recognize school bus good behavior.
Ooh.
So one of the
So
big
important.
things that we stress here at Washington is that we are respectful, we're responsible, and safe, not just within the walls of Washington, but wherever we go. So
true.
wherever you are, you're representing Washington and the Washington way. So we had 3 good bus conduct notices. Leilani in Mrs. Fike's class.
Congrats, Leilani.
Levi rides bus 85, and
Levi.
Ray Varner. So
job,
Ray in Mrs. Gribble's class. So
What
those
a hard
3.
job a bus driver has, you know?
I know, and these are hard to get.
They
These are
are.
not easy, and
They
they
are.
don't just hand them out. So
That's true.
this takes a lot of good, consistent, positive behavior.
It does, it does. So congratulations to those guys. I want to give some special shout outs because I love the interactions that we've been seeing on our virtual Spirit Week. Yesterday was family movie night. And I just want to kind of shout some people out if that's okay.
Yeah.
Remember the Titans for the Johnson family.
Yep. And Jackson and Mrs. Fike. I know
yeah.
last night they had their hearts and their movies going. So Jackson, we've seen lots of posts from him with his pizza and his PJ. So they've been very active too.
I saw a picture of you guys watching Sleeping Beauty.
Oh yeah.
Is that true?
Yes. The top 3 didn't even make the cut. It was just
Crazy.
kind of like a
That's what
out of
4.5-year-olds do, though. You know, they have the ability to change their minds.
Yeah.
Lucian and his family watched The Incredibles. The Beck family watched Jumanji. Mrs. Mozzie and her daughter, at least one daughter, they watched Incredibles 2. Our buddy Levi, who I think we just mentioned a while ago,
we did.
he was watching a classic, tearjerker,
Yeah.
Bambi.
Oh. What were the Johnsons watching? I don't remember.
The Johnsons, they watched a classic, one of my favorites of all time, Remember the Titans.
Yep.
We had Mrs. Thompson, kindergarten teacher extraordinaire. They watched Aladdin, her and her boys. Mrs.
Mrs. Stepter, they watched Frozen 2. The Page family watched Descendants. Peyton S. and her family were watching some movies. Hudson and his family, Mrs. Neal and her family, they took our idea and they were watching Big Hero 6.
I
So
saw that.
all kinds of good stuff. Let's keep up the participation today. Today is the last day of Virtual Spirit Week for the week. It's family board game night.
It is.
What, do you have an idea of what you guys might play?
One of our favorites is called Outfoxed.
What?
I know.
Never heard of that.
It's a really fun one. You'll have to look it
Outfoxed.
up.
I'll check it out.
You have to try to figure out who
Yeah.
the thief was. So.
Tip for parents: if you get a chance to put the kids down, you need just some interaction with each other. Settlers of Catan is a really great board game as well. I think you'd call it a board game, strategy game as well. So check that out. Also, if you want to check out, is this our last day?
We've got winners from,
Okay.
or babies from yesterday,
Yeah.
and then we've got one more round
Okay.
to give out. So
All right, let's do
let's
it.
go over the babies.
Cool.
Okay. Number 19 was Mrs. Vaughn. 20, Mrs. Johnson. 11, that red dress, Miss Johnson. 21 is Mrs. Young. 22.
Aw.
I bet everybody got this one right. Mr. Colbeth. 23, Mrs. Odom, our librarian, media aide. And number 24, she is new to our building this year, but definitely not an unfamiliar face, and that's Mrs. Dethridge.
Awesome.
All right, last round. Let's see if you guys can give us your best guesses. So this is 25, 26, 11 the hat, 27, 28,
And the last one.
and 29. I do need to go up to this one right here. I believe we said this one was Mrs. Melton, but after further review, this is actually Mrs. Bataki.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So, all
Unreal.
right, last round of our Who's That Baby?
Cool. Looking forward to
Yeah.
seeing all those guesses, and then maybe we can tally them up. See how many you got out of the 29. I believe that turned them in. So, just a quick Flipgrid update. Excuse me. 2 really fun videos posted on there from yesterday's video. We had Mrs. Fike was on there, and she has a special challenge for you boys and girls. And I'm not going to give it all away, but it was pretty cool. And then Mrs. Cadella. Did you see her video?
I
It was
didn't. I haven't.
awesome. You have to check it out. She does a science experiment on there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and as a former science teacher, you know that I appreciate a little science experiment.
Yeah.
And sometimes on these days, whenever you can't get outside, we're looking for things to do. What a cool idea to have a science experiment. So, very neat. You know what? Let's give it our shout outs for our birthdays.
All right. We have one student birthday,
Yep.
and that's Colin in
Very
Mrs.
true.
Thompson's
Very
classroom.
true.
So.
And we also have a special staff birthday. Mrs. Williams, she came to us last year.
Yeah. She's a fellow Cubs and Chicago Bears fan, so I appreciate.
Yeah, I was
Mrs.
trying to
L.
talk
Williams.
nice about her.
We have to stick together. So.
And you went with that. So she's got one child here already and one on the way, and we are just thankful to have her.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Williams, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
We canceled school on your behalf. You're welcome. Well, there's been a busy week this week,
Has
Mrs.
been.
Benson. We have covered a lot of ground. We've had a lot of, I think, fun doing these videos. And
Hey, do we want to give a quick update on meals for next week?
oh, that's a good idea. Well, we had a meeting this morning, and there were some things to talk about. So go ahead, Mrs. Benson.
So, starting next week, the hours are changing just a little bit for our meal grab and go. And it's going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday,
Okay.
11 to 12:15. So, if you come on Monday or Wednesday, you will actually get enough for Monday and Tuesday's meals.
That's true.
And then if you come on Wednesday, you'll get enough for Wednesday, Thursday.
So still the same number of meals.
Yes.
We're not shortening anyone's
Yeah.
meals.
Yeah.
We're just going to kind of cut down the exposure for people. And so Monday, Wednesday, Friday,
Correct.
11 to 12:15. Looking forward to that. Okay. So if you want to spread that around, please do so. Anything else, Mrs. Benson?
No, just be on the lookout on the Facebook page for 5K updates.
Oh, my
We're going to
goodness.
start rolling out some stuff this weekend and
so
really
excited.
need your help getting the word out because we don't want this to just to be a Washington event. We want everyone involved, fun for families and just something to do to get outside.
Everybody's
and get some
looking for
fresh air.
something to do, so I'm really excited about it. One thing you can do is go ahead and practice this weekend. So get out, run as far as you can without walking. Maybe do some 1 minute run, 1 minute walk, 1 minute run, that kind of thing. So just get out and practice, enjoy the great outdoors. So love you guys. We'll come back and we'll see you on Monday.
See you guys later.
See ya.